not a super detailed thing, so it shouldn't take that much time to fill out. It's just your name, email, phone number, and the position that you're interested in, and just 2 questions for you to answer. Why are you interested? What goals? And then this particular one is for the vice president, president, and vice president of operations positions. And so down here, we just ask what experience you have in leadership. If you don't have any, that's totally fine too. We're just curious to know. And then, yeah, the same is for, I'll move this. The same is for the secretary, PR director, and treasurer. What are your goals for this position? And so I definitely recommend you guys filling them out. It won't take that long at all. So yeah. Okay, so going into Canva, I'm pretty sure most of you guys have already used Canva of the people who have tuned in. So this is, you know, going to be pretty straightforward. A lot of it you guys will probably already know. For those of you who don't though, Canva is a free website that you can make all these different designs on. So you can do anything from social media graphics to posters or flyers. I've made resumes on here. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys some examples of like PR related work that I've used in the past. Can you see this? Okay, hold on.
It froze.
I'm frozen?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely did.
Dang. Huh. Can you see me now? Am I still frozen?
No, I can see you now. It's just your screen's gone.
Your screen was frozen, not you.
Yeah, the
Okay.
web browser froze, not you.
Can you see this?
Yep.
Okay. So this is an example of a PR proposal that I made in the past using Canva. So this is how it would be really relevant and helpful for you for your PR needs. This is for a company called Transactly that's based out of St. Louis, and they deal with real estate. So it was just kind of a PR analysis. They were looking to increase their search engine optimization. So I just kind of did a whole kit for them. But all of this was done on Canva. So it just goes to show that it has different purposes. You can also, this is a different one that I did. Can you guys see this one too? Okay. This one was for an advertising class that I did. It was a copywriting class, and so it was for Bruce Brothers Tap Room in Murfreesboro. So again, just made all of this on Canva, including these graphics, which were, you know, my advertisements for Bruce Brothers. So yeah, definitely multi-purpose. And so Canva is free. Okay, so Canva is free, but I actually bought the pro version just because I use it so often. So I'm gonna pretty much stick to just the free features that you can use with it, but let me go to the home. So you can type in anything you want, but the most common ones I use would be, whoops. Like I made my own graduation announcements, as you can see down here, Instagram posts. I've made a lot of infographics on here. You can make resumes, which I've done. I mean, pretty much anything you want to do, you could do on here. So I am just going to show you the graduation announcement, just because I feel like it's relevant to a lot of us who are here. And I made one actually separately here. And so I was just going to recreate it and show you how I made it, you know, using all of these features on the side. So I went ahead and just typed in graduation announcement. And they have all of these templates that you can use. But I went ahead and just made my own, but it is kind of nice. If you wanted to use a template, you can definitely tweak it to make it however you want it to look. So once this loads, I think it's being kind of slow because I'm on Zoom. But you could like change the colors, change the fonts, get rid of all of this, change the pattern if you wanted. So say I want to do a maroon background. There you go, things like that. So very, very straightforward. Canva makes it really, really easy. If you wanted to change this font, you could just go up here to the fonts and select any of the ones that you want. These are the ones with the crowns are for like the Canva Pro option. So if you have the free version, those will be like in a light gray because you can't use them, but you can use any of these other ones. So yeah, really convenient. But I'm going to go ahead and show you just from a blank slate on how I made this graduation announcement. So I took inspiration from it from Pinterest and just like Googled cute different graduation announcements and found different pieces and parts of different grad announcements and kind of just made my own. So starting off just at the top, go to the side and get a little bit of the body text. I brought it to the front and I said, proudly announcing graduation of, and then I changed the font. So you go to the side here and you can select any of these fonts. You can also, at the top, you know, they say try calligraphy or open sans. And so you could try, you know, I went with the calligraphy option. And now all of these fonts that show up are going to be in a calligraphy format, which is kind of convenient if you know you have like a certain aesthetic that you're going for. So let's just say, I don't know, I'm not sure exactly which one I use. So that looks really tight and kind of weird, right? But it's kind of nice because if you go up to spacing and you go to letters, you can spread it out a little bit to make it a little bit more legible. So even though it still looks kind of crazy, it's at least a little bit more legible now. Try that again.
I have a quick question.
Uh-huh.
So this packet, the PRSSA packet, when's that due by?
Justin, do you have a due date for that? I believe it'll be probably our last meeting.
Yeah, I'll send an email about the due date on that, Maggie.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and if you guys wanted, you could even put it all together in Canva, which would be a nice use of this tutorial. But, okay, so going back to here, I'm just trying to make it in the center at the top. So going on here, making these boxes, that's what I'll show you next. We go to this Elements tab on the side, and I just typed in rectangle. And then I just click this option, and it drops it immediately. And you can resize this to whatever size you want. So I did something along the lines of that. I also think I brought it out a little bit more. And then I just copied and pasted this exact box again and dropped it underneath so it makes sure that it's the same size. And then I changed the color of one of them. So you can make it any color you want. I think I did like a darker gray, something along those lines. You can also actually fill these boxes for the background with an image of your choosing. So you're gonna see a lot of pictures of me just because I did my own graduation announcements just recently. But so if you wanted to upload a picture, you would have to, you know, either bring it from your camera roll, drop it on your desktop, and then you have to drag it in to Canva in order for you to use it. And then if you want to set it as a background, you could just click and drag and drop. Or yeah, there we go. Or if you just wanted to drop an image, you can just click on it and it'll move it all around. So that is an option. If you wanted to do a separate background too, they also have these photos options. So they have different like standard photos that you can use as a background. You can click on it or you can drag it and make it a background. So those are different options. And then finally, they do have a background option as well. So if you just wanted a simple pattern or something, you could do that too. So those are different options, but I did not do those. I just made a simple white background. So. Okay, so to add more text, we're gonna go here, add a subheading, and then I just typed in my name. And I did one for Savannah and one for Coady. things like that. Just drop it in the center here and then change the font. So it can be, again, whatever font you want, depending on what aesthetic you want. I'm just choosing some random ones here. Change the font, just get it to match. And then I'm going to make it bigger too. Like a 28 maybe. Make this bigger, and then I'm going to space out the words just a little bit to give it a little bit more of a different look. 28. And then you can always check if you want to make sure that it matches. So I made this letter spacing 77. So I'm just going to go here and then type in 77 so that it matches the one above it. And then you can center them too. You could also make it bigger. I would personally make it bigger, but it's more just me showing you the features than me actually making a nice graduation announcement. So then to get these little dots, so I'll show you to get these little extra fun details. Okay, and then again, I'm going to add a text box, just a little bit of body text. Sorry, that's my mom. I don't know if you guys can see that. And then I'm going to change the text again. Match the top. And then I went to elements to get the little, and I just said dots. And they give you all types of different options. Maybe be more specific, dotted line. There they are. So it's free. You can see some of these do cost money, but if you just hover over it, it'll tell you pro or free. So just to keep in mind. And then you can shrink these. And so that's what I did there. And then copy and paste so that it's the same size. And drag it to the other side. And then make that a little bit more centered. And it's nice because you can see those lines that show up to let you know that it is in the center, you know. And you can change these colors as well. So I think I'll go ahead and just make them black. And so, yeah, pretty straightforward. To get this like shadow effect, I just did 2 rectangular boxes kind of stacked on top of each other. So elements, rectangle, this one. Or they do actually have an example right there too if you wanted to do that one. So let's actually try this one. Shrink it down and make it match so that these lines match. They're aligned on the side there. I'm going to add some more text. There, and I think I'm going to move these boxes up just a bit. For like, so you can move them with your mouse, these boxes you can, but sometimes like it'll make that jump there and you don't want that whole space filled. So at that point you can use your up and down arrows to move it a little bit more exactly. Okay, and then you can change each one of these colors too. So it'll tell you at the top, well, the one below is this darker gray, the one on top is a lighter gray. So I'm going to change this darker gray to match, you know, the darker gray that I have here. And there you go. You can make those any colors you want. And then I'm going to change my fonts. I think in my original one, yeah, I gave it a separate font there. See, yeah, that one looks kind of bold right there. So maybe, you know, you can mix and match your fonts as much as you want. That's kind of up to you when you're designing, you know, what you want your design to look like. I'll just scoop this up. Okay, and then adding the next part. Adding that text there, and then we're going to match it to the rest of the calligraphy fonts, which is nice because once you use a font, it automatically just keeps them at the top, so you don't have to keep searching for them. And then the Bachelor of Science. Again, just grabbing my rectangle, dropping it down. And then I think I will make it just a little bit skinnier. And then I'm going to copy and paste it because I had another one similar to it right below. Go to the side and add my text. Centered. And just make it match. Change the spacing to 77. Let's see. New communication studies. And just a little, and then make it match. I made this one just a little bit smaller than this one, just because I wanted to show you, here, this is how I originally made it. But I wanted to show you how to get these little arrows that you can add in individually. So again, it's just the elements. You can go to arrows. And they give you all these different options. I think the one that I used actually was a pro one that I paid for. So it's kind of up to you guys. However, if you wanted to pay for it, you can. That's definitely an option. I'm just going to drop that one because it's kind of cute. And you can twist it to go whatever direction you want to. And you can make it smaller. Something along the lines of that. Whenever you make it big, you want to make it even smaller. And then you can copy and paste it. And on the side over here, you can flip it so that it goes the right way. So you can flip it vertical or horizontal. Oops. There we go. So something like that. Obviously, we don't have a commencement ceremony anymore, so feel free to leave that off, but it's just the same. I made this a little bit bigger than the rest, so you just drop it at the bottom here, a subheading. And change the font to match. Let's try the charm. And space it out. This one I'm actually going to just space out a lot because I want it to fill the bottom. Without going too long. So something along the lines of that. And then again, I'm going to use my arrows just because it won't let me. So this is just an example. All of those features are free, and except for, well, they have free arrows that you can use. These ones in particular are ones that you would pay for. But this is, all the fonts and things like that you can definitely use for resumes. You can use for social media posts, things like that. Let's see. I showed you guys how to upload a photo. Oh yeah, I wanted to show you like the elements. First of all, they have their own coronavirus section, which I think is really funny. Like you just make some social media posts for those. But you can also click and drag and put these in the back. So for example, if I wanted to overlay this, it looks like it's overlaying. So you go to position at the top, and you can put it either backwards. So if you go to backwards, it's just going to go under the most recent things. So if I were to move this up, this was the last thing that I typed on this document. So this text box will overlay this image. But what I want to do is I actually want to send the entire thing to the back of, so that it's underneath everything. So you just press to back and it'll go underneath there. So it kind of offers something in the background. And you can also change the colors of this as well. So say you just want it to match or whatever, you can do that. Make it blue or something. It's really up to you. So yeah, that is what I have for you guys. Again, you know, I made this from scratch, but they have all these awesome templates for you to use if you just wanted to roll with one of these. Canva makes it really, really easy. You could just substitute these photos for ones of your own. If it'll load. You did it. Okay. So then, yeah, we'll just upload like a different photo. You just click and drag to those specific boxes. So you click and drag. And then if it's not the image that you want, if you want to scoot it over, you just double click it and you can position it where you want it to be and things like that. And I think that's about it. That's what I have for you guys. Real quick, I'll just show you, like, so that's all of those features you can use in anything, in the social media, graphics, and, infographics, a flyer, all of those particular things. But I was going to show you an example. I know Justin did a tutorial on resumes last week, so I'm just going to show you how I used Canva to make a resume. For example, this one. This is one I made from scratch as well, but a couple of the other ones that I've made are just templates that Canva has. Craig Angstrom told me that I should not use this one if I'm planning on applying online, just because of like the software they use to screen resumes. They look for specific words and they can have a harder time. Those softwares can have a harder time picking up those words on a format like this because it's not a Word document. So this is kind of a tip that he gave me, is that if you're planning on applying online, which most of us do that, you should have a Word document, just a standard typical resume, that the software can pick up those keywords. And then if you get called back for an interview, that would be a good time to have a nice fun resume like this. Just kind of fun. I do this in my free time. I just really like making different resumes and the templates and stuff. So yeah, I just wanted to show you guys real quick all of the same stuff. Those are just graphics, from here, for the elements, I guess is what they call it on here. You can, make bullet points or numbered or anything like that, or you could just take it away entirely. Totally up to you. And that's all that I have for you. Do you guys have any questions?
How much is the pro version?
It's $89 for a whole year.
Ooh.
So it's a little heavy. Yeah, it's a little pricey, but I honestly use Canva for everything. You saw, I just showed you how to make a grad announcement, all the social media posts, pretty much any campaign that I've ever made. I've made either graphics or, like I showed you, the actual, paper in Canva, just because you can make it really aesthetically pleasing. So I thought it was worth it for me.
So one thing I would add, and if somebody has a question, you can ask it in a second, and maybe this will give you a chance to think about some questions you might have for her. But everything that she was just showing you and doing is really kind of a simplified version of Photoshop. So Photoshop is kind of the graphic design baseline that most places use. And everything that she's doing, like sending layers of her image forward and backwards or all the way to the back, and playing with the kerning of the letters and that sort of stuff, all of that is stuff that Photoshop does. Canva is just doing that in a much more kind of simplified, easy to understand version. So this is Canva. Playing around with it and getting comfortable with it is a really good way to get more comfortable with more advanced image editing programs. So it's, you know, if you're like looking at Photoshop and you're completely intimidated, you're seeing job listings that have Photoshop experience preferred, Canva is a really good way to like start getting involved with that.
For sure, for sure. I have Photoshop as well, and it's really complicated. So I definitely like Canva. It goes much faster, and there's a lot of freedom and liberty that you can do with it. I especially really like the templates because sometimes, you know, it's hard to kind of come up with things from scratch. So the templates are really, really nice too. So yeah, Canva is a great tool to use. Any other questions?
I think I started using my Canva freshman year of college because I was area council president. I don't even know if you guys know what that is. Like, we would be hosting like the little events for people on floors and stuff, and I used Canva to make all the posters and announcements and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So it sounds like it's worth it if we're going to be like in the PR industry to purchase the yearly one.
Yeah, actually, the Pro is also, it's phenomenal. I know we don't have that much time left for this meeting, but I can show you real quick kind of the Pro, the benefits of having the Pro. So going back to this grad announcement, for example, they have this option at the top called resize. And that's really nice because, okay, what if I want it a horizontal now and I don't want to have to, you know, start from scratch? So then you have to just swap these 7 and 5. And it's going to automatically just copy and resize it in a new document. So obviously you'll have to adjust everything on here, but instead of starting from scratch, you know, you can just pull these out to the side. You can also, if you want to do things at the same time, you can click and then hit shift and hit something else. And then now you have the ability to, move them together. So you don't, you know, things like that, which is kind of convenient. You know, if you wanted to move all of this together, hit shift, just select everything. You really have to hit everything though, that's the one thing. And then you can make it bigger, you can make it smaller. Obviously the things I didn't select are not moving, but you get the picture. So yeah, Canva is, you know, the Pro version, I've really, really enjoyed playing around with it. I just recently got it, so I'm still kind of learning it, but it's really fun.
Maggie, I'm laughing at your dog.
He actually just stepped all over my computer, but
Oh no.
it's okay. His name's Kylo. Come here.
Yeah, not that you're Joe Exotic.
Huh?
I just saw that Martavia is Joe Exotic.
I know, I saw that too. That was the first thing I saw when I logged on.
That Carol Baskin. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry.
If you guys don't have any other questions, or if Justin doesn't have anything else to say, I'm done with the tutorial.
This is my bigger dog.
Hey.
Say hi, everybody. Say hi. Say hi. He probably hates me. He's like as tall as me, so.
I don't think I have anything to add. Next week, Haven will be talking about writing press releases. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
That is correct.
Okay. For those of you who are taking the class for credit, do the same thing that you did last week for your blog post online on D2L. Just write about maybe things you learned or questions maybe that you still have after watching this and everything. And do that for your weekly blog post, and then we'll be back next week. You don't have to create anything in Canvas this week, or in Canva, excuse me. But your resume, you know, I asked you to do a resume. Again, that's only if you're taking this for credit. You don't have to do it, those of you who aren't. But I would like to have those next Wednesday. So that gives you 2 full weeks to work on it and everything. So for next week's meeting, if you'll just email that to me. You don't have to post it online. Just send it to me in an email and everything.
Just the resume?
Yes. The post just put online like you normally do, but the resume just email to me. And if there aren't any other questions for Savannah, then I guess that's it for the meeting this week. Thank you everyone for coming. I hope everyone's doing well. And we are still talking about trying to figure out maybe something to do one night as kind of a more social event. So hopefully we'll have some more news on that next, well, maybe after next week's meeting for you, so that we'll have a better idea of what we'll be doing the rest of the semester and everything. But good luck with the rest of your classes this week, and we will see you back next week.
Bye. See you next Wednesday.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.